Today we're going to look at 5 reasons why your glute workout may not be giving you the results you're looking for. Hey ladies, so we all know it's kind of the year of the glute. Everywhere you look, glute this, glute that. Building the glutes, let's get bigger glutes. Let's squat and let's get bigger glutes. I swear, I don't want to see any more peaches. Like, we are just invaded by the peach. So today I just want to talk to you guys about maybe what's happening when you're doing your squats, if maybe your glutes aren't getting built up like everybody else we're seeing on social media. There could be some issues happening. So we're going to go through 5 different steps. The first one is you're not activating your glutes. People have no idea how critical it is for you to activate those glutes. So really the goal with the activation exercises is to train the glutes to fire throughout all of your lower body exercises. So those muscles are going to become stronger and they're going to act as a support system for your core and your legs. That's why it's really critical. So if you're sitting all day or you're having long periods of inactivity, here are a few activating exercises that are going to get those glutes fired up before you even start your lower leg workout. So I have 3 really easy ones. The first one is just a clam. You can do this banded. You're just going to take this, you're going to put it up over the knees. Usually I do anywhere from like 15, maybe like 3 sets of 15. You're just going to lay on your side and all you're going to do is you're just going to raise the leg. So we're just kind of starting to get everything activated. That whole minimus, maximus, whole area back there, medius. All right, so maybe 12 to 15, 2 or 3 sets, flip over, do the other side. Another really good one, we're just gonna stand up. We're just gonna lower our bands down to our ankles. And we're just gonna do the banded crab walk. You always wanna make sure you're keeping tension in the band. A lot of times I tell people to internally rotate the feet because that's gonna help get the glutes from the side a little bit more. If you're here, it doesn't target them as much as if you're rotating in. Minimus, medius. You gotta get those guys kind of fired up too. So always keeping tension in the band. The front leg is leading. So I would just do a couple shuffles back and forth. Monster walks are good too. I like these. You just kind of walk forward. The back one I like the best. Just kind of kick your backside out as you're kicking. It's another really good one. I'll do those up and down the hallways a couple times. All right, so super easy. All you need is a band. And that's gonna kind of help get things fired up. Okay, so once you're activated, if you haven't been doing that, that's probably issue number 1. Number 2, your heels are coming off the floor. So if you perform a squat, so you're here, and you're going down into your squat as usual, and all of a sudden this is happening, you may as well just come back up and put that bar back on the rack because that is really going to be a huge issue. So your heels are one of the key pressure points during the squat, therefore it's crucial for you guys to transfer the force effectively from the ground through the body to the bar. So if your heels are off the ground, that's kind of negating the whole point of you doing the squat. So keeping your feet on the ground is essential for optimal balance and strength. You want to try to push through your heels. That's why most of the power of your squat comes through your heels when you're lifting. But if you're not lifting with your heels, yeah, it's not really, like I'm saying, it's not really worth it. You want to try to think about stretching first because obviously there's a reason why your heels are coming off, which is going to lead into point number 3. You haven't developed your ankle flexibility or mobility. That's another huge critical piece. So Bad positioning and movement can often stem from inflexible ankles. So even like a small offset in the ankle joint can be detrimental to the effects of the anterior movement of the knee joints, which can lead to rounding of the back, a forwarding tilt of the torso, disengaging the glutes and the quads. So once again, we're negating the point of even doing the squatting in the first place. So this impacts the efficiency of the movement, and it can also hinder muscle development. So what were we saying earlier? Why am I not getting results? That could be easily one of them. So number 3 is not developing ankle flexibility. So bad positioning and movement can often stem from inflexible ankles. A small offset in the ankle joint can be detrimental to the effects of the anterior movement of the knee joint, which can lead to rounding of the back, a forward tilt of the torso, disengaging the glutes and the quads. Hence, that's the reason why you're not getting any really good results from doing your squats. Also, this impacts the efficiency movement and can also hinder muscle development. Like we talked about earlier, why are my glutes not growing? Well, that's probably one of the reasons why, is because these certain checkpoints throughout your squats aren't really happening in the proper way to help you get growth where you're really looking to get growth. So what do we want to do? We want to try to do some mobility exercises. One of my favorite ones is you can just go up to a wall. What you're going to do is you're just going to put your foot fairly far back, and you're just going to reach your knee towards the wall. Now, if I can't reach it and my heel's not lifting, I'm just going to put my foot a little bit closer to the wall, and now I can reach it. And then I'm just going to kind of pulse where I'm feeling a tight pull through the back of my calf, and I'm just going to eventually just kind of pull that out a little bit farther, and I'm just going to really work on that ankle mobility. So those are really good to do. The other option that I still do in the gym, because as doing a lot of gymnastics and track growing up, I definitely have some mobility issues through my ankles. I can't perform a full squat properly because my heels come off the ground. So what I do is I usually grab some little weights at the gym, and I just elevate my heels slightly, and that's going to allow me to go down into a full squat without compromising my heels coming off. So I'm lifting them up, but I'm still using them. So that's what is allowing me to drive earlier, like I said, being able to drive through my heels, whereas here, when I get in my squat position, I literally stop right here. My ankles are not allowing me to really drop any further. So that's what's critical about making sure you have that ankle flexibility. So number 4 is going to be our knees moving inward, knee valgus, knee cave. We've all heard these different terms. So what this is going to do, it's going to leave our knee joints in a vulnerable position. So this is typically the result of strong hip adductors located on the inner thighs being overpowered by the weak hip abductors, which is the gluteus minimus and gluteus medius. So all of this right here. So when we're going into our squat and this is happening, these strong, tight muscles are just overpowering these poor little weak guys here. So what do we need to do? We need to stretch these guys out, and we need to strengthen these ones. So that's something to really think about. So we also have a lack of strength in our quads. So what can we do? We can lessen the weight. A lot of times I tell people, take the plates off, grab the bar, do all of your checkpoints. What are my feet doing? What are my knees doing? Is my head and chest up? Are my elbows tucked in? How is my squat even looking before I'm throwing all those weights on the bar? Yeah, that's really the critical piece, you guys. Also, narrowing your stance, that can help if you're having an issue with your knees. Strengthening your hips, like I mentioned, that's really critical. The other thing is using bands just above the knees will help. So if you put some bands on, you've got your bands on here, and if your knees are normally collapsing, well, your brain is gonna have to think about keeping those knees, the bands tight by keeping your knees out. So it's gonna kind of train your mind by using those bands, and it's going to strengthen your hips. So that's going to be a great thing to do too. The bands are just going to kind of help you get your knees where they should be. So those are all really critical pieces to think about. The last one is short range of motion. So for maximal thigh development, you want to squat as low as you can. You really want to aim to squat at least to the point where your thighs are parallel to the floor or a 90-degree angle. You don't have to do the ass to the grass, but just to where you're getting down far enough. I mean, if you're finding that you're just here, you're only squatting so far, well, there's obviously a reason. Is it my ankles? You know, what's happening? Am I using too much weight? Where do I just not have the mobility somewhere where I'm only getting down so far? Am I just too weak to be doing this, where I should throw all the weights away and just do body weight until I develop the strength? So those are really the critical pieces, you guys. You're not activating your glutes, your heels are coming off the floor, you're not working on that ankle mobility, having, you know, nice flexibility through the ankles. The knees are coming in. That's another really critical area we need to work on. Short range of motion. So these are all checkpoints with the squats that are going to help you in the future. So if you're younger, just starting out, these are even more critical because you're going to set up good patterns for your body. Let's say you've been doing squats for a super long time. That's where I say get those plates off the bar. Use the bar or even a dowel, anything. Just watch your body, get in a mirror and even do the checkpoints to see, gosh, what do my squats even look like before I'm throwing on all this weight and muscling my way through all of this. Whew, yeah, there's a lot behind it. Okay, you guys, I hope this was really helpful information. I know it's a lot of information coming at you, but you know, kind of pick and choose what is going to help you out, really getting your squat to where it really should be to get the results you're looking for. Thanks for joining me. Hit the like button, subscribe. Check us out on Athlean-XX for women.com, and I'll work out with you guys soon.